Hi, welcome to Bonita's Kitchen and thank you for joining us. Today I'm going to be making a delicious batch of Jiggs Dinner in pastries. Now Jiggs Dinner is a traditional Newfoundland and Labrador meal. One that we would have on Sundays. We would call it a Sunday dinner, a boiled dinner. We'd have it special occasions, Christmas, etc. And this today is going to turn that Jiggs Dinner into a delicious batch of pastries. Now, I can go on telling you how it is, or I can just show you clip for clip and then we'll pull it all together. We also got a video posted online right now for Jiggs Dinner, and we'll show you a few clips here today on how to put it all together. So if that interests you, stick around and let's get started. Now Jiggs Dinner is made up of cabbage, fresh cabbage, turnip, we got some carrot, potato, you can have parsnip, salt beef, and this is beef that has been cured, and we also got a video on how to do that. We got Newfoundland savory, we were talking about that in a lot of videos. Split peas is a part of the Newfoundland Jiggs Dinner, and the chicken is kind of like your Sunday dinner, but we're including this one in there today because traditionally years ago it'll just be a boiled dinner and it wouldn't have no gravy, but we want gravy with this today to make these delicious pastries. So we're going to quickly put this together. We'll show you each step as we go. What I got here is a prepared pudding bag, and what I mean by that, you just wet it in under some cold water to get it ready, and then you're going to put half a bag of split yellow peas into it. Tie it around, leaving a little bit of the string out because you need to tie it to your boiler. Usually you'll soak this overnight, or you could soak it soak it overnight by putting it into water like this, and then after taking it out and putting it in your boiler and tying it to the handle. That's your peas pudding. So what I got here is one piece of salt beef. You can get salt ribs, pork ribs as well, and you take it out. You can see that it's been cured with salt. You put it in some cold water, soak it overnight, or you can put it in the boiler, boil it once, drain off the water, and then put it back in. But right now we're going to have it soaking. That's all you need to do there. So you need about 2 cups. You can go 3 cups if you want to of stale breadcrumbs. Put about half a teaspoon to quarter of a teaspoon to a half of all salt, pepper, and onion powder, and about probably a small onion chopped for your to put in there. About a tablespoonful of savory. You could use summer savory or just your regular ground savory, and a tablespoonful of butter, and then mix this together. This is our traditional dressing. So the dressing is to the side, which is a stuffing. Rinse your chicken under some cold water and then pat it dry and clean out the cavity from any I guess to dry it out a little tiny bit before you put the stuffing in. So that's all you need to do there, and then you're going to stuff it with the dressing. So after you've stuffed your chicken, put it into a roaster, and your roaster of choice. We're going to be using about a cup of vegetable or chicken broth. Season it evenly with some salt, pepper, over the counter, over the chicken, salt, pepper, and onion powder, and then toss in there about a small to a medium onion around, and that's all you need to do there. We're going to be putting this in a preheated oven of 350 to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, uncovered for 1 hour. Just baste it lightly and then covered for at least another half an hour to 40 minutes. And now we'll get into our vegetables. after you've soaked your salt beef overnight or just for a few hours or part boiled. Put it in with your peas pudding bag and a couple of chunks of onion. Put the cover on and put it on your stove top and start to boil for 1 hour. So this you could do the night before or the day you're planning on making these delicious pastries. You're pretty much going to be cutting a small to a medium cabbage, depending on how many you're cooking for. This recipe today is for 4 to 6 people. So you'll just cube your cabbage like this in wedges and put into some cold water to open the cabbage leaves. So if you're making this from scratch by taking your Jiggs Dinner, or if you've got leftover Jiggs Dinner, those of you that know how to make it, and those of you that don't know how to make it, this is just going to be a quick tutorial here today, but you can refer to our Jiggs Dinner on Bonita's Kitchen to get the full version of it. So pretty much cutting up all your vegetables and getting it ready to cook in the boiler after your salt beef has cooked for at least 1 hour in the boiler. So I'm going to cut up these vegetables and then we'll get making our pastries. Now, while everything there is starting to boil and get going, we're going to make our pastry here now, and that's 2 cups of all-purpose flour, half a cup of butter or margarine, and a half a teaspoonful of sea salt, and blend it together by your hand. So now Jiggs Dinner is not a new thing, you know. Hopefully you'll get to swing by and watch that beautiful video that we got there for our traditional Jiggs Dinner. And years ago, I was saying at the beginning, they'd serve their Jiggs Dinner with no gravy and no protein, roast or chicken. But today, for these delicious pastries, we're going to be having gravy. We'll talk about that more as we get to the end. And we're going to have the chicken, and I'm also going to make a microwave blueberry duff. We got a recipe for that there, but I'll also show you that. And all of this goes in these delicious pastries. So normally it would be put together and I would say used as a leftover for affordable meals, more meals you could make with one meal, make more meals. So now back to our pastries, and we'll talk more about the Jiggs Dinner as we go. So we're going to be pouring in here gradually a half a cup of cold water into our mixture and blend it together into a ball. Now if you want to make more of these pastries with your Jiggs Dinner, because you're expecting a crowd, you could double your recipe for your pastry mixture, and then that'll be fine. We're going to be cutting out about 4 pastries out of this ball and roll it out the same size you would for a pie crust, and then we'll get back to talking about our Jiggs Dinner. So what I'm going to do here now is flatten this out to make 4 squares. That's all we're going to do with this. So roll it out as far as you can go, pick it up, flip it over. It's a really nice pastry, and one I use for a lot of my recipes when I'm dealing with pastries. So that's all you need to do there. Okay, this is about a square. I'm going to get it now. It's not quite a square, but as we go, I'll show you more of that. Just as long as when we put all of our Jiggs Dinner into this pastry, it'll all fit. So if you got to roll a little bit more, that's okay. And this recipe was given to me by my neighbor and a friend down the road, and she's been doing these and they love it. So I was excited to show it to you folks here today. Delicious. So now that I got my pastries ready. We're going to check on our pots, the pot there boiling with the salt beef and the peas pudding. I'm going to quickly whip together a blueberry duff, and when everything is cooked and at room temperature, then we'll get stuffing these pastries, and we'll show you that as we go. So let's get over to the stovetop. So now, hopefully I won't steam up my camera. And that's after 1 hour boiling. The peas is coming along. This is the time you taste your pot liquor, we call that, to see if it's salty. And then you put your cabbage in there first and let that start to cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. That's delicious. So now after 15-20 minutes, add in your turnip. Now sometimes you can add the turnip and the cabbage in together, depending on the season, because sometimes turnip, certain time of the year, is a little harder and you can't cook it. It's just the new turnips. You could put it in together. Right now, let that cook for another 15 to 20 minutes. Now what we're going to do is make the microwave blueberry duff. I'm going to be putting just about a tablespoonful of flour into about a half a cup of blueberries. You can have half a cup to a cup. We got a quarter of a cup of melted butter and a half a cup of sugar. We're just going to blend that around. You could use sugar of choice and you could use less sugar. It's entirely up to you. Teaspoonful of vanilla, and then you're going to crack an egg in a separate bowl, check it, and pop that in with it as well. So now this is a microwave safe bowl. I always thought all bowls is microwave safe, but I guess it's not. So just make sure that it is the one you're using. About a quarter cup of fresh milk or evaporated milk. Just mix that around. Toss in there 1 cup of flour and 1.5 teaspoonfuls of baking powder, and just mix that around. So mix this till it's nice and fluffy like this. Now you could substitute anything here if you want to use a different flour, if you want to use different sugar, less butter, that's up to you. Coating the blueberries or any berries with flour helps it from sinking to the bottom. And these are frozen berries that I'm using here today. And you could use raisins if you didn't want to use blueberries. Everything kind of got mixed in this one bowl, and it's going to get cooked in the bowl. So make sure that you got all of the flour and everything down off the sides, and put it in the microwave for anywhere from 5 to 6 minutes until when you poke a knife in there or a toothpick, it comes out clean. So now then we'll get over to the stove top and add in more vegetables. Take the cover off my boiler again. And we got a noisy kitchen here today because we got the boiler bubbling, making noise. We got the stove cooking that chicken, and it smells absolutely amazing in here, eh, Raymond?
Yeah.
So we're going to put the carrot in it. We can cut it one more time. You can cut this in half again if you want to, just to speed up cooking time. But if you're not in no rush, put it in there for another 15 minutes to 20 minutes, and then we'll add in our potato. After, we're going to add in our potatoes. But before we do that, this is our pudding. As you can see, it's nice and clean, and you can go like this on the sides with your spatula and just release it from the sides. You can leave it in the bowl, or you could pop it out onto a plate and cut it in cubes. Now this is used in a meal and as well for dessert. But today I'm going to show you another way you could use it. So you're just going to put your potatoes right on the top of your boiler and put the lid on just part ways and let that boil for the remainder of the time. So as you can see, our Jiggs dinner is cooked. Our chicken is baked 165 on your cooking thermometer, fork tender for the vegetables, and we're going to make gravy. So 1/4 cup of flour to 1 cup of cold water, and then shake it in a mason jar. Get the lumps out. I love when I cook Jiggs dinner because it's just like I'm getting like a facial because all the steam. This is the peas pudding bag. Take it up after everything is cooked. You could take it up before everything is cooked if that one is already done. Put it in a bowl, and I'll show you that in a moment. Put all your vegetables out into a different bowl. This is the way we would serve Jiggs dinner on a Sunday or a special occasion. But today, when it comes to a room temperature, we're going to make these delicious pastries. I'm going to cut up that chicken, get the stuffing done, and I'll show you our gravy. Cut the string off. Now this, we also got this recipe on Bonita's Kitchen to make pudding 2 different ways. So after you take it out of the bag, you could reuse this one, just wash it and dry it, and that's all you need to do there. We're going to be putting into this because we're making this as if it was, I just want to put pepper down here into this, if we were making it for having company over in Jiggs dinner, but right now I'm just trying to show you all of the ingredients that's going to go into those pastries. That's all you need. So what we're doing now is just making the gravy for our Jiggs dinner pastries. This is the drippings from the chicken roasting, and we're going to be putting probably 2 to 3 cups of liquid from the Jiggs dinner that was boiled, and the mixture for the flour and the water is already shook. So once this comes to a boil, we will make our gravy. You could make a white gravy, a light gravy, that's what we would call the chicken gravy, of course, or a brown gravy. And here in Newfoundland and Labrador, we like using a gravy browning. I'm not going to put a lot in there. I'm going to just put just a little, I'm going to say smidgen. That's optional because it's got no flavor. It's really just a color. And now we're going to slowly pour in our flour mixture to make it thickening. And as you can see here, my gravy has got stuffing in it, it's got chicken, it's got pieces of vegetables from the boiling of the Jiggs dinner. So that's what's going to make this gravy just out of this world. So that's all you need to do there, just until it's thick. So now to making our Jiggs dinner pastries. We're going to take a little serving of each one of these delicious vegetables and our protein, put into our pastry, and I'm going to show you that. So again, this is used with your leftover Jiggs dinner. So if you had cooked Jiggs dinner for your family, you got leftovers, this is an extra meal, a budget meal, we call it here in Newfoundland and Labrador. You can make more than just one meal out of something you cooked. So really what you're doing is putting a taste of everything in with the pastry. That's cabbage, carrot, turnip. If you got parsnip, you got a little piece of that Duff. You got some peas pudding off to the side, and a little smidgen of the stuffing on top. That's all you need to do there. Now what you're going to do is bring your pastry up over. The reason why I said you need to do this when your food is cold, because you don't want to melt your pastry. So all of this delicious Jiggs dinner is into your pastry like this. Then after, put it onto a piece of parchment paper, onto a cookie sheet, and I'll continue making these and I'll show you what's next. Okay, so last but not least, I made a little extra because I want to give it out as a gift to our neighbors. And so just pouch it like this, take some melted butter, brush over the top like this, and then we're going to put it in a preheated 350 degrees oven for 30 to 40 minutes, just until these pastries are golden brown, because everything else is cooked. And then we're going to serve it with gravy. How good is that? Delicious. Our Jiggs dinner in pastries are baked. Now I'm going to show you what they look like. after you've taken them out of the oven. Just give them another little brushing with butter. That's all you need to do there. So now all you need to do is top it with some gravy. Oh my gosh, Raymond, how good is that?
It's looking good.
And you could put some pickles, homemade pickles. I'll share that link with you. Homemade beets. Now what I'm going to do is cut into this, show you what it looks like. Pretty much now you can eat this whatever way you want to. But I'm just going to cut into the middle and just bring it around. I think the big old potato is showing up there, Raymond, but that's okay. So cut into it, eat it whatever way you want to, but it is going to be delicious. This is a to-go-to-work meal as well. You can just take it in your lunchbox or your school bag. Wait to have a taste. Oh my God. Drop the fork, delicious. If you never had Jiggs Dinner before, you're going to love this. You're going to love using your leftovers for this meal, along with all the other Jiggs Dinner leftovers we got for Jiggs Dinner in a pastry. So we hope you enjoyed our recipe here today for Jiggs Dinner in a pastry. I hope you get to make it soon. The recipe is going to be posted here, and under this link is also, we're going to share it with you on our website, www.bonitaskitchen.com. You can visit us on our Facebook page or right here on YouTube, but don't forget to subscribe before you go. And we thank you in advance. We won't take any more of your time. We know it's precious, and we thank you for sharing a little bit of it with us here today. On behalf of myself, Raymond, and our team here at Bonita's Kitchen, you have an amazing day from our kitchen to yours. And don't forget to join us again on Bonita's Kitchen.
Join us by the sea, a journey in culinary, always an open door. Bonita's Kitchen to yours. Bonita's Kitchen.